Hello everybody. Over the next few minutes I will give you an overview of the qualitative critique assignment, which is due on October 10th, by the end of the day on October 10th. If you need a little extra time, please let me know and we can work something out. So let's get right to it. So if you go to Module 6, down to the bottom, we have the qualitative critique assignment. This is due October 10th by 11:30. I will assure you that I am not awake at 11:30 checking to see who has submitted it. So if you get it in after that, midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, that is perfectly fine. Additionally, if you need a little extra time, let me know. So what is involved with this? I'm going to walk you through the process, give you some examples, and just try to hit the high points of this assignment. So this is a qualitative critique of the article that you were involved with. You were involved with a group discussion back in week number 3, meaning if you were assigned to Group A, the Adult Learners Emotions Online Learning, that would be the article that you use for this qualitative critique. If you were Group B and you participated in the Facebook official research, you would use that article for the basis for your qualitative critique. And Group C, self-directed learning, if you were part of Group C, you participated in the discussion, that is the article that you will use. So this is not an assignment where you have to go out and you have to find a new article. You are already using the article that you studied, had a discussion on in week number 3. So a couple of things. Write 1,000 words to 1,200 words. I think the syllabus actually says less than that. So I will say anywhere between 750 words to 1,200 words. Now, I'll show you an example of this, but that is, I don't expect something that's going to be 2,000 or 3,000. A matter of fact, if it's longer than what I'm asking you, then it probably isn't targeted enough for this assignment. So please, don't go overboard. 750 words to 1,000 words is perfect. In this article, you're going to be looking at the research from the standpoint of looking at all of the sections, meaning when you were involved with the discussion, each one were assigned to each one of these areas. And these are the titles that I'd like to use for this particular assignment. Research, review, and theory, sampling, purpose and design, sampling, data collection, analysis and results, and then the evaluation of that. So I will show you a couple of things here. There's some guidelines. Sometimes with these guidelines, the actual subject, chapter, not subject, but the titles that you will use in the paper are different than this. I really want you to use these titles as the titles that you will use in your paper. So let's take a look at, so that is where the assignment is located. It's due next Sunday. So once again, these are the groups. In this case, Jesse did the purpose and design. Ed.D. did the research, review, and theory. Now, this is your paper. It is not anybody else's paper. And if you were part of this group and you were in charge of the sampling, I want you to actually use your own words. Do not copy and paste anybody else's work. If you do mention somebody else's work, please cite it. Just you know, if you're in there and you say, Jesse made a really good point in the discussion post, cite that. The last thing I want is to see that people are just copying and pasting in each one of these sections. So just to get into a little more detail on that, if Jessie wrote this section, she certainly can use her own materials in the actual critique. But to go out and copy and just go into each one, everybody's other respective sessions or sections, copy and paste that is not acceptable. I really am interested in your own words, and this is your own critique. Okay, so once again, if you were part of Group A, this is the article that you're going to use. Group B, Group C. Now, it's certainly fine if you go in and take a look at some of the discussion posts and you read through it. Part of what we did in week 3 was to have a true discussion on each one of these areas. So that is as far as your groups, and that's what you're going to do. Now, I will show you a couple of things. I'm going to go to, we have, if you look at some of the resources that you have available, one is called Purdue Online Writing Lab. And if you Google Purdue or OWL Purdue, up here, owlpurdue.edu.owl.research, it will come right up. Now, we are using APA formatting. And I think some of the most important things or an area that you can see how this formatting works is if you come in here, you look for APA style. There's all kinds of information in here, general format, in-text citations, references, footnotes, all the information. But one of the things that I think is very valuable is over here, if you come down, you can see actually you can see sample papers. They have a student paper, and down below they have a professional paper. If you have any questions on the formatting of this actual paper, I would encourage you to take a look at this. It goes step by step. What does the cover page look like? What is the references page like? And there's all kinds of notes down here. It's an excellent resource. We also have on our Brightspace page, we have course writing style resources. And here we have APA formatted guidelines. You can come in, you can click on any of these. Here's the actual manual. And you can see how you do in-text citations, title page, references, levels, different levels, course writing style. Please take a look at this. Now, as far as the APA formatting goes, I really am interested in you giving it an effort, which means if you follow the APA format, we're going to have a cover page. We are going to have all of the sections, and we're also going to have a references page at the end. So to give you an idea of what a sample paper looks like, here it is. This is a sample of somebody that was part of a group back a few years ago. I removed their name. Here's the header. Here's a perfectly formatted cover page. This is level 1. This is level 2. So as you can see, we have the purpose. We have the lit review. In her case, she used literature review. Sampling, qualitative methods that were used, the collection that they used, critical analysis, and then transferability. And then she finished with 2 references. She referenced throughout the paper Beaudry and Miller, which is our textbook, and then the actual article. This is really what I hope to see as far as references go. The references is centered on the last page. Each one of these we have a hanging indent. They're perfectly formatted. So I think her paper was 750 or 790, about 800 words. So as you can see, just to give you an idea, we have cover page. That doesn't count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. really 3.5 pages. That is perfectly fine. Now, one thing that I did want to point out, in APA formatting, you do not use an introduction. You can type something that's an introduction, but just don't title it as an introduction. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the paper. You submit it in the usual place. And once again, this is your work. It's not anybody else's work. You're free to look at classmates' work in your group and what people discuss, but I'd like you to put it in your own words. So this is due next Sunday, which is October 10th. If you have any questions on this assignment, please reach out to me. I know I went over, but I wanted to make sure that you knew where the sources were, and I wanted to make sure that you understood what the assignment is. Please let me know, reach out to me, shoot me an email. If you need any assistance with this, I'm here to help. We can have a phone call, we can Zoom, we can do whatever you would like. So good luck writing this paper, and once again, shoot me an email, contact me if you need any help. Okay, everybody, good luck writing.